Okay, so our project is a Hypertherm Power Max 65. We bought a plasma cutter off the old Facebooks, sight unseen. Seemed like a really good deal, and it's wired for 3-phase. It's a Hypertherm Power Max 65 sync. So I have 2 welding trucks over there, and there's one here. So this one we've been working on. If you follow along with our channel, this one hasn't done a whole lot of work. We've only done a handful of jobs with it, and I just got my commercial driver's license. So yeah, so I want to start putting tools in this thing. I want to start making it cool and stuff. And so each truck there has a 45 in it, and then there's a 100 amp Everlast there for our CNC. And so I was thinking this truck could use it, and I have a job where I'm gonna have to lift some stuff, and I'd also like to have a plasma cutter. Yes, I could pull the other ones out of the back seat, but this is here, so I kind of want to use it. It's got a like a Hubble. I think this is 30 amp 600 volt. It's not a twist lock, but it's like a turn and pull style thing. It's industrial, but yeah, it's what you'd see on like industrial equipment. So probably a pretty expensive plug. When you're looking at equipment, a lot of people don't know the difference between single phase and 3-phase. If you can read the backside of a machine, like the backside of the chart or whatever, you can save yourself some money and some headaches, because a lot of stuff is actually works on both. Like a lot of newer stuff works on 3-phase and single phase. And there's a lot of Miller machines that do, there's a few Everlast machines that do, a lot of Lincoln machines that do. I own a bunch of them. And unless you buy them retail, usually you don't pay a lot of money. Or you can get a single phase higher voltage machine. Like Miller makes a bunch of machines that are single phase 600 volt. So you can buy a transformer. Like I bought a transformer at an auction for $200 or something like that, and you just have to plug it into a transformer and then plug the transformer into the wall. So it's not a great mobile setup, but it's awesome for the shop. You know, $6,000 MIG welder for like 400 bucks, because a lot of people can't use them, and factories don't go out and buy stuff off Marketplace. You know, they buy new stuff. I'll show you guys what to look for when you're buying stuff like this. The charts are generally pretty similar. There's a lot of information on there. I don't know what all of it means, but I know what some of it means. So if you look down here, you're gonna look for a little squiggly line symbol, so that's gonna be phase. So here we go. So down here in the bottom of the chart, it says 200 to 480 1 squiggle, and then 200 to 480 3 squiggle, and then 600 3 squiggle. So it's telling you how much power it uses, like when it's cutting, when it's gouging, when you turn it on, like max inrush kind of thing. So this is how an electrician would sort out what kind of breaker to put in. Basically, he looks for the big number and he puts a breaker a little bit higher than that, or around there. Yeah, I'm not an electrician. So anyways, but I can see a number here. So it's 200 to 480 1 squiggle. So 1 squiggle means single phase. So, and then your standard single phase in your garage at home or your house or whatever, or coming in off the road, is, depending on where you live, is 230, 240 volts. So 240 volts single phase. So this is 200 to 480. So anywhere in between there, it'll work on single phase. So, and that'll be anywhere from 52 to 22 amps, depending on if you're at 200 or 480. So at 240, you're probably running around 50 amps, which is great because most welding machines, like those guys, have a 50 amp breaker, or 60, somewhere around there. I don't know. It's about 17,000 watts. So it's probably 60, but don't quote me on that, but I know I can run it. So now that I got that information, I know, okay, this machine at least says that it's supposed to work on single phase. It was working on 3-phase. Why it ended up for sale, who knows? It could be broken. That's the problem. I have bought stuff before and been sorely mistaken, but I didn't have a way to test this because I only have 230 3-phase on my generators, and I have 600 3-phase here at home, but I was 4 hours away. We have our plug here. So this generally how these things are going to work is going to be you'll just drop the red wire. So there's a black, a white, a green, and a red. The green is ground. The 2 black and whites are going to be your hots. So 110 volts, 110 volts across there, creating 240. And then the red wire would be used for your 3-phase applications. But in this one, we're not going to use the red wire. Okay, we found a plug. The way these ones work is, like I said, there's a hot and a ground. So you can see black, white, green. So you take your old wires out of there because this thing was cut off. So these ones here, the smaller one's on the right. So as these wires sit, this one's on the right, so I'll put it on the left. There's like a big tang and a small tang. We got our plug sorted out. We got our air compressor fired up. We've got our air line hooked up here. Same type of fitting, so that's cool. And then we got our plug here. So I'm gonna go grab an extension cord and let's see if it turns on. A power thing on the switch on the back, screen on the front. We have some green lights. AC. So gouging, cutting. 65, cutting. Okay, cool. This one just kind of shows stuff blowing through the backside but no arc. Then this one shows an arc. So I'm gonna go with I want an arc. I don't know. Let's try that. So these are sink consumables. So they've figured out a way to make their consumables kind of proprietary. I don't think the man overseas has figured out how to rip them off yet. So we're gonna have to run regular old hyperthermic consumables. These are like 75 bucks to change. So for example, a 45 XP is $5 to change the tips if you buy the Chinese ones. So hopefully they work like 8 times as good. Let's hope for that. I might also be able to get in there. This looks like they've instead of having the contact tip press on, thread on, they've pressed it on. I might be able to get in there. But either way, let's see if it works first before we start hypothesizing of how to save money. Okay, push that in there. Put this in here. So the other thing too as well I noticed is that this plug end is different than the 45 XP. So I can't even use the 45 XP cord plug whip thing. But yeah, let's see if we've got a pilot light. So that's normal. That my other one does that. It does the pump up every time you unplug it. It's like a counter. Cool. So we have a pilot light. Let's see if we've got stuff. So that's 65 amps right now. Oh, does it have a start counter on it? Is that what it's doing? 986. 987. Oh, cool. So this machine has cut 987 times, which is like nothing. Okay, cool. XT237. I could be wrong, but I think that's runtime. 2 hours 37. Unless this is like something to do with the new sync stuff where they tell you how long your consumables are good for or something like that. But it would have reset when I did that. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so that stuff goes away, and then you plug it back in again. Stayed the same. 050-2. Okay, and these are 65 amp drag cutting consumables. So yeah, it's probably a good switch up to there. But yeah, let's go get a piece of steel. I should have safety glasses on, so it works. definitely need some tinted glasses for that one. Man, that's a win. That's huge. That's awesome. I figured for sure there was going to be something wrong with that thing. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, I think it might find a home in this truck. But yeah, I think that's it for this one. Nothing to fix or anything. It works. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you guys find cool stuff to buy too. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, throw them down in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you did. And if you have subscribed already, thank you. That's awesome. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.